Johannesburg has a long and bright future ahead of him.
The men's 100-meter final on tap. World record 9:58 Usain Bolt. Olympic record Usain Bolt 9:63. Two Jamaicans in the final, running out of lanes that Bolt won 2 of his 3 gold medals in. Bolt's first gold in Beijing, he was in lane 4. Jamaican Kishane Thompson is in 4. Bolt's last gold medal in Rio, he was in lane 6. Oblique Seville is in lane 6. The defending champion Marcel Jacobs will race in lane 9. He won out of lane 3 last Olympic Games. Fred Curley's in lane 3. What a moment. Obadele Thompson, on analyst duties at the moment, knows what this feels like.
This is the moment we've waited for. Who will be crowned the fastest man in the world. Noah Lyles had that title last year. Controversy surrounding it. Some of his posts. Now is the moment. All the major players are here. No excuses. We haven't heard about any injuries. They run fast in the semifinals. The lights are on. The world is watching. It's their moment to shine.
I suspect the winner tonight will legitimately be called the fastest man in the world, because I think whoever wins will run the fastest time in the world.
Yes, so there will be no debate. To be quite fair, based on what we saw in the semifinals and how easily Seville and Thompson won their races, if they repeat their semifinal performances and improve on them, of course, they are logical 1-2 finishers based on what we saw in the semis, but that's a different race.
Yes. Although there is some carryover, the truth is, this is a new race. Who is going to handle the moment the best?
Benerick in lane 2. He's on the inside lane.
Yes, they're using lanes 2 to 9, not using lane number 1. He qualified as the slowest qualifier, 9:93. The quality of the field. 4 gentlemen ran under 10 seconds, and we'll be watching the finals from the outside.
Oblique Seville, second at the Jamaica Nationals, 4th at the World Championship twice, Budapest and Oregon. He's in lane number 6.
Just set his personal best, 9:81, to back up his 9:82, which he did twice this year. He is in form, coached by, of course, Van Mills, who led Usain Bolt to all those successes.
Simbini, impressive in his semifinal run.
Yes, he won his semifinal in 9.86. His closing speed has been very impressive. Let's see if it's going to be enough.
Tibogo, standout junior, transitions to seniors and is just as potent.
Great starter, silver medalist at the World Championships last year. Hasn't looked as strong, but he's capable.
Kishane Thompson, the race favorite, impressive every time he touches the track.
We see him with the theatrics. He's shown that he has the goods. The world is watching to see if he will deliver them on the big stage right now.
Curley was second in Tokyo behind Jacobs.
As they say, Nike Curley, he's here. He returned from his 2-year agreement. He ended his 2-year agreement with ASICS and returned to Nike. He's running fast.
Lyles bounces onto the track. He's a world champion. Look at attitude.
Lyles with his antics. Let's see how he does. I was looking at the data. His closing speed was tremendous in that semifinal. But will it be enough?
There's the defending champion. Has had injury issues, but he's in good shape now.
Yes, he equaled his season best, 9.92. He's in lane number 9. He was in lane number 3 the last time. Pulled it all from an outside lane. Can he do it again? This is shaping up to be one of the greatest 100-meter finals that we've seen in a while.
Noah Lyles trying to psych out the competition. He did close fast in his semi-final, but if the Jamaicans get away like they did at the semi-final stage, closing fast might be too late.
What's so interesting is now we start to see Curley next to Thompson, and Lyles next to Seville. For people who are closers, they like to be next to people who start fast. Lyles worked on his 60 meters this season. Oblique Seville has worked on his finish this season. Kishane Thompson seems to have worked on everything. His acceleration has been amazing. Fred Curley showing the form that brought him the silver medal in Tokyo. Kenny Benerick concentrating.
Curley, USA. Thompson, Jamaica. Simbini, South Africa.
Simbini has been here so many times before. Hasn't been able to land that global medal. Tebogo said in the build-up to the Olympic Games that if he could give his World Championship silver medal to Simbini, he would, because he feels Simbini deserves it, and he has such a long way to go in his young career.
Simbini is truly capable, but the question is, can he be there in the first 30, 40, 50 meters? And I think that's where the race will be decided. Whoever is accelerating really well from 30 to about 80 meters, that's where it plays into their hands. A lot of capable runners in this field, but you have to put the entire race together. This is going to be a race where you cannot make significant mistakes.
Michael Johnson, the US iconic sprinter and former 200 and 400 meter world record holder, says any of 6 athletes could win gold. He had said any of 11 could get to the final, and described this as the most open Olympic 100 meter event he has seen in decades. I think he's right.
Glenn Mills has coached a number of global 100 champions on the men's side, from Kim Collins in 2003, of course Usain Bolt, Johan Blake as well. He also coached a 1-2-3 at the Olympic Games in 2012 over 200 meters. He is the coach of Oblique Seville.
This is the moment.
Stephen Francis has coached so many global champions on the women's side. One title he doesn't have is a global men's 100 title. Kishane Thompson can give that to him. This is a really lengthy hold though.
Yeah. Oh, but who is the most confident athlete based on body language? You've spoken a lot about trying to assess the likelihood of winners by what you're seeing in their eyes at the starting block.
Kishane Thompson, you see him right there. I think he has the largest room for error. In the first 2 rounds, he had the leading times through 60. It was equaled by Seville in the semifinal. An interesting fact, since the 1960s, only one athlete who has been shorter than 6 feet has won the Olympic men's 100 meter. That's Maurice Green in 2000. Everyone else has been taller than 6 feet. Kishane Thompson is 6'1".
The Jamaicans looking for a 4th Olympic 100 meter title in 5 Olympics. They're ready. Thompson is up well. Seville is up well also. Kishane Thompson sprouting wings and begins to come forward. Kishane Thompson takes it. 9:78. The Jamaicans have reclaimed dominance in the Olympic 100 meters after Bolt in 08.
It looks close between Curley and Kishane Thompson.
I think it might have been Curley. That was really close.
It was a tight race.
I think Thompson did it.
Noah Lyles
Also came through.
It's Lyles. It's Lyles, you know. I thought I saw him. I thought I saw Noah Lyles come through. Somehow, he's won the Olympic title.
He has silenced his critics. He's turned up in the moment.
The world champion becomes the Olympic champion. The Jamaican Kishane Thompson is absolutely stunned. He just did not move away the way many expected in the last 20 meters of the race. It allowed Noah Lyles to close, And at 9.79, a lifetime best, he wins it. Oblique Seville was nowhere close.
This is stunning. As I mentioned, Lyles showed that he opened up the gears in the semifinal. But we expected the race to be there. Kishane Thompson, Fred Curley, our eyes were on them battling down together in lane number 3 and number 4, and Lyles somehow snuck in on the outside. We see, unfortunately, the former Olympic champion, Jacobs, pulling up with an injury. This doesn't look good for him or Team Italy, but Lyles announced that he was the fastest man in the world. He didn't allow anyone to talk him down from that position. He clarified what it meant. He came to Paris just like he did last year and delivered on the biggest stage. This is an amazing performance by Lyles, and Kishane Thompson, who was an unknown outside of Jamaica up until last year, produces his second fastest run ever, a time equaled effectively up until the thousands to Noah Lyles to play second, and then Fred Curley, Nike Fred, comes back to win the bronze medal. Here we see in lane number 2, Curley is running real well. Kishane Thompson makes a big move. At this stage, I thought he was going to pull away, but Curley stays in there, and down in lane number 7, Lyles flashing through with his amazing 200-meter strength. You see him looking down. He's looking nowhere else. He's not looking anywhere else. And he drives all the way through the line.
Well, that's the run of a champion. You've got to give him that. He has that championship medal. And at 80, Thompson appeared as if he was edging ahead of the field. But on the line, Lyles gets there, both clocking 9.79. Thought Thompson won it, but Lyles outleaned him at the finish.
Amazing performance by Kishane Thompson. His first global championships, the Olympic Games, having not raced except at the Jamaica trials, and then once after coming to the Olympic Games and delivering a 9.79. Outstanding performance. Fred Curley returns to the podium with a 9.81. And then the disappointment of Oblique Seville. We really thought Oblique Seville was going to provide Jamaica its second medal.
He wasn't in the race really, Oblique Seville. But I tell you what, there is something to be said about when you are not accustomed to be in close races. And Kishane Thompson hasn't had any close races this season. No race where he's had to lean to win it. Noah Lyles is so accustomed to be in this position.
Yeah, Lyles next to Oblique Seville knows what he had to do. You see, for the first time, to your point, Ricardo, Kishane becoming tight. You see the tightness in the shoulders. He still pulled it off in terms of running one of his fastest times ever, but it just was not enough. Noah Lyles, they look at the torso. Noah Lyles winning by thousandths of a second. You see right there him holding form, the 200-meter strength that he has. He never looked panicked or under distress. You see, in contrast, Oblique Seville, knowing that something wasn't right and not being able to pull it together. And that's the thing about these 100-meter races. When you come to a final, you simply cannot make major mistakes. And when you get off the pace, you're not going to win. And with gentlemen running this fast, 9.81 for third place, this is the...
Our expectations have been hammered in the men's 100. It's Noah Lyles. He rings the bell with vigor. That's a man who believes he's proven a point. And in a most emphatic fashion, it doesn't matter how much you win these races by. The most important thing is that you win them. Nike Foot Fred returned to add Olympic bronze to his silver 3 years ago.
Many people called him out. We see the overhead shot. Jacobs had a good start, but we see Fred. Kishane actually looks like he's leading. Curly comes back on him, but none of them would have been able to see Lyles motoring through in lane number 7. Curly had an outstanding reaction time, 0.108. We see the graph at this stage. Thompson with the highest velocity. He's leading all the way through 60 meters with Curly in tow. Look how, but you see Lyles now getting into his top end speed and claiming the victory.
The major difference here is that when the Jamaican Thompson got to 60, he did not move away in the expected fashion. Even without Lyles, the others were still very close to him.
He was edging away as opposed to moving away decisively.
Jacobs running 985, which is the fastest that he's run in several seasons. And Akine Simbine again at 4th. But there's nothing to be shamed about at 982 and a personal best. He did what he was supposed to do. He came out, he ran his best race possible, but the 3 gentlemen in front of him were simply superior on this day.
It's Noah Lyles. It's Noah Lyles, folks. The world champion is the Olympic champion.